I have been waiting 6 years for this film, and it is finally here. Never Hike Alone 2. Like I said in my last review on this channel, I never thought I'd be reviewing a fan film, but here we are for a second time with Never Hike Alone 2. This franchise is so much fun, these movies are so much fun, and Friday the 13th is one of my favorite franchises of all time. If these two films canonically existed in the Friday the 13th universe, I would probably say they are in my top 5 Friday the 13th films of all time. That is how good they are. And for me, I would canonically say they do exist because they are made so well and they fit into that universe so well also. So these films are made by Womp Stomp Films. These are some great filmmakers who I have been able to email with back and forth a couple times. They make really solid Friday the 13th films, and once this whole rights issue is cleared up with who owns the rights to Jason, who owns the rights to the movies, who can actually make these films, who can distribute them, I hope that Womp Stomp gets their hands on it and can create their own Friday the 13th film with a big budget going into theaters, because I think they would do an exceptional job. These movies are so much fun. Honestly, they might be better than most Friday the 13th movies that we get. So getting into my review of this film, I really enjoy how this one is both a direct sequel to the first one where it takes place right after it, and also not a prequel, but kind of a take place at the same time film, but from a different perspective. Whereas in the first one we are following the perspective of Kyle, who is our hiker, vlogger, YouTube, adventure guy. And in this one, we are following the perspective of none other than Tommy Jarvis, Thom Mathews himself, so that is really fun to watch. It starts off about halfway through the first film, where we see where Tommy Jarvis was during these events and what he was doing as a ambulance driver and as a medic that he currently is in this timeline. We do see Kyle pop up for a second here and there in different situations than we saw him in before, just because it's from a different perspective, and that's really fun to see. And we get to meet the mom in her workplace of the kid in Never Hike in the Snow. So it was awesome to see all these different storylines come together in this film and really fill out this franchise and make it very connected feeling. With all these different characters, I would say that the acting is actually pretty good for being a fan film. I think the guy who plays Kyle does a great job. Thom Mathews obviously is a great actor. Rick Cologne, the sheriff, even though I wouldn't say he's a great actor, he really does fun and has fun in this role. He is a reoccurring character from actually Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. He was the deputy in that movie, and now he's the sheriff of the town, so that's cool to see. And the mom of the kid in Never Hike in the Snow, she is also a good character. I still have my issues with the acting with those two paramedic guys, the girl and the guy who are like in class or studying to become full-time paramedics, and they go to help Kyle. They may be friends with the director or whatever it is, I don't know. I'm not trying to shit talk or bad talk anything, but I can't stand their performances in these movies. It kind of takes me out. Other than that, though, I think this film is exceptional. The director also plays Jason in some scenes. I know it's another actor in other scenes, but he does a phenomenal job. Both actors do a phenomenal job as Jason. This is one of the most brutal and scary Jasons we have to date. I honestly think he's up there with Tom White and Kane Hodder when it comes to Jasons. He does a phenomenal job in this performance, so good job to him. The look, while it's not as scary as some of the other Jason looks we've seen, it is a very classic look and it gets the job done. I think that is done very well. Is this movie scary? No, but none of the Friday the 13th movies really are scary. They're more just fun for the fans of this franchise. And as a huge fan of this franchise, I have a lot of fun, and I think this movie is very, very fun to watch and to live with. It is only an hour and 12 minutes, but I could live in this movie. I could live in this Never Hike Alone universe for hours. I mean, if this movie was 4 hours long, I wouldn't mind it. I heard early on they were talking about making Never Hike Alone 2, 3, and 4, and then these kind of all got clumped together into just one film. That makes me a little upset because I would have liked to get more out of this, but that's cool. If they had 3 short films or 3 movies and they couldn't make it out and they just clumped it into one and made a better film, good for them, because this film was actually very good. If I had to give this film a score, I would go with an 8 out of 10, which is very high for a fan film. I mean, a movie with no budget that is pretty much funded all by fans of the previous one, to get an 8 out of 10 is awesome. I think I gave Never Hike Alone 1 an 8 out of 10 also. And as it currently stands right now, I probably do like Never Hike Alone 1 more, just because of how simple the story was. It was fun to have this hiker, YouTube vlogger Kyle, and Jason, this like protagonist and antagonist just coming at each other, just fighting each other the whole film, one trying to get away from the other, one chasing the other. It was like a cat and mouse story, and I thought that was really cool to have in the Friday the 13th franchise. It was something fresh, something new, where this one just felt like an actual slasher film. That being said, it was one of the best slasher films in that franchise, so they did a good job. They both, both have an 8 out of 10. I like them both. I love them both. I just think the first one means more to me at this point, maybe because I've seen it so many times. If I give this second one a couple rewatches, maybe it'll surpass it, maybe it'll be even with it, but they're both really good films, really well made. Shout out to Womstomp for making these exceptional films, which for me, I would put into the canon of actual Friday the 13th films. So, acting is really good for a fan film. The story is a lot of fun. I like how we take the perspective of Kyle and move to the perspective of Tommy Jarvis, who really is the star of this franchise. And we get to see how he is doing after all these years. He reminisces on part 4 when he was a kid and he killed Jason. He reminisces on part 6 when he accidentally was the one who brought Jason back to life, and he feels responsible for all of the deaths that have happened in part 6 and so on. That was cool to see how his character has developed and changed with all this. Rick Cologne, like I said, good character. This movie was a lot of fun. I thought the hospital sequence was one of the best slasher sequences I have seen in years. I relate it to some of the stuff I've seen in like Halloween Kills, and I actually think it was done better in this film. And that's a big Hollywood budget movie compared to a fan film. That's really cool to see. So, like I said, so much fun. Such a great time. It seems like this story has came to an end, but if they can do Never Hike Alone 3, please make it. I would love to see it. I don't care how you want to do it. I don't care how you want to progress this story. Let's see it happen. If that can't work, if it's not going to work in, your plan or whatever, hopefully you guys get a shot at a real Friday the 13th movie, because I think that would be a great, great thing to happen for this franchise. So thank you all so much for watching my review. I hope you like these Never Hike Alone movies as much as I do. If you haven't seen them yet, go check them out. They're for free, streaming on YouTube. Everybody should watch these. Give a like to that video. Give a like to my video. Support me. Support Womstomp. Support people who love making movies and love movies. It is something that, it's a great thing in this world. It's an art form, and the way that people can have different perspectives on movies and feel different ways about different ones, it truly is remarkable to me. So, like I said, please leave a like on this video, subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for clicking on this and showing your support, and I hope you have a great day.